Yes, that's right. Talking with T-Bird is back once again. It's the summer of T-Bird, and T-Bird's next big interview. It's Janet Carbin from Survivor 39, Island of the Idols. And here is my idol. It's Teresa T-Bird Cooper.
Hey, Rob. Again, it's so
Hi,
great.
T-Bird.
Hey, Rob. How are you doing, Rob? Have you recovered from your road trip?
Yeah, T-Bird, that was like almost a month ago that I've been back.
Yeah, but 2 weeks on the road in a little car with two young boys and your wife, you might need a
No,
month
it's
to
fine.
recover.
It's fine. I'm good. I'm good. Excited to be back here with you for another Talking with T-Bird. And we had such a good one this past week. We talked with Penner. That is going to be a tough one to top here today, but we will do our best. If you missed that podcast, you definitely want to go back and check out our interview with Jonathan Penner, T-Bird.
Yes. And Janet is fascinating. She is so interesting. She's so much fun. She's fun. So we're going to enjoy her. Now, I want to ask you something, and we'll let you know I'm enjoying the Survivor wish list.
Okay. Yes, Mike Bloom every day gets together with a guest and talks about a few people that should be nominated for the big fan vote we're planning later on this summer.
Yes. So then Mike Bloom is incredible, Rob. He
Duh.
is very talented. Now, this is my question as I'm listening to his things, how he knows all this stuff. He's like you, but does he know more than you? I'm just curious.
Yes, Mike Bloom knows more than me. Mike Bloom knows more than me.
Seriously, I'm not being funny. I'm asking you.
No, Mike Bloom knows more than me because you know what my problem is? I forget stuff. So I think that everything that Mike Bloom, like, first of all, Mike Bloom knows more than me. Second, I think at times I have known many of the things that Mike Bloom knows, but I also forget them. So Mike Bloom does not forget.
But Rob, Mike Bloom has not been on Survivor. So
he's been to Survivor. He's been to Survivor more times than I have.
Yeah, okay, so I was just going to say, I think it would be easier if you had played. Then you've got that whole mentality of being a player. But if he's been out there, but he'll say all this stuff, doing these every day or 5 days a week. I'm like, how does he know all this? I mean, he's got to be doing a lot of research through the seasons, and I'm sure he's done it for years back. But anyway, I'm really impressed with him, and he is. You couldn't have gotten a better person to do the wish list.
Yeah. Mike is living his best life right now doing the wish list every day. So he's the right person to do it. Check it out. And we are, into the 30s now.
Is he enjoying that, or has it gotten to be a job now? Because
I think that like a job, all jobs, I think there are many days he enjoys it, and maybe there are times when he is not enjoying it as much. But he never lets on that if there's any parts of it he's not enjoying.
Yeah. Okay. And then also Big Brother premiere started last night, which I told myself,
yeah,
do not get
it'll
pulled
be a few days away from now by the time people listen to this.
Right. Do not get pulled into that sand trap. Do not. Well, guess what? I turned it on, and now I'm in it again.
All right, T-Bird, when can we put you down for a live feed update with Taryn, where you watch the live feeds all day and then report on that?
All day? Watch the live feeds all
night. And all night.
And all night. Oh, yeah, that's another one, Taryn. I know it's a job for Taryn. I don't know how he does 3 months. I don't even know how he does that. Rob, we'll talk about that at another time. Okay. But let me ask you this. So the first 8, we saw the first 8. Did anybody other than me I think the guy's Tucker. Is that right? I love that name. Is it Tucker, the guy that stuck Tucker?
Yeah.
Is anybody else other than me getting Jim Carrey vibes?
I think they got some Jim Carrey vibes.
Right away, I'm thinking, oh my God, he reminds me of Jim Carrey. So he stuck out to me in a good way because he reminded me of Jim Carrey. Although I'm thinking he voted no for the new player to come back in, I think. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I got to see how things play out with him. But anyway, I'm excited about the Big Brother.
How could you not be? All right. Well, I'm very excited for our guest today, Janet Carbin. She's waiting patiently while we talk about all this Big Brother. So let's go ahead and bring her in. And T-Bird, take it away.
Our guest today had been applying for Survivor since season 1, Borneo. I could just picture myself out there, she said. She had sent in 4 videos and was finally chosen for season 38, Edge of Extinction. But unfortunately, She didn't have enough time to get everything processed. She would then be called back and play on the 39th season, Island of the Idols, 20 castaways divided into 2 tribes of 10. At 59, she would be the oldest woman to compete on her season. This chief oceanfront lifeguard, also a mom, but not your traditional mom, said, quote, being in the water is like being at home, end quote. She thought it would be cool to break the mold on the older woman and be a provider. Quote, I never wanted to use my gender, my age, or anything be a qualifier, end quote. She wanted to make an impact. She thought she would either be voted out first, traditionally done to the older female. It would be make or break. So she prepared. For months, she trained with her coach, her husband, John. He was her fire coach, researching types of bamboo and how to get a spark. He made her balance beams, giant slingshots, and hoops for the grappling hooks, everything to help her prepare. She proved herself an asset the first night by making fire without flint. From there, she spearfished, discovered breadfruit, served as a sympathetic listener, and made many suggestions to help ease the difficulties of everyday camp life on the island. Quote, I showed my tribe I had a special set of skills, but I knew how to use them, end quote. It paid off. She would become the oldest female player to make the merge. This teacher and swim coach was not only physically fit, but could get along with all ages and genders. Her social game was stellar. She would stand up against her ally after several women came to her and expressed how they had been inappropriately touched. She proved to be a player with her own mind, thinking out every move in advance. She was the only castaway to decline a mentor's challenge on the Island of the Idols for fear it would put a bigger target on her back. She was playing a perfect game, focusing on benchmarks, making the swaps, making the merge, then making it to the family visit, where she would find out her grandbaby was a girl by the color of her husband John's t-shirt. She would make it to the final 5, found a second idol, and knew she was guaranteed final 4. She then finally let herself believe she could win and be the sole survivor, saying, quote, none of these people can beat me in fire. I believe I would have all the jury votes, end quote. But on day 37, her immunity idol would be nullified, imposing the biggest threat. She would be voted out on day 36 in 5th place. She quickly became a fan favorite, even getting noticed and receiving some special love from Sia. I am proud to introduce the woman whose mantra is, quote, speak your truth, live your truth, and don't put limits on yourself, end quote.
Wow.
Janet Carbin.
Hello. Thank you. That was some introduction. I forgot all about most of that stuff.
Wow, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
Yes.
Hi.
Janet, how are you?
I am really good. I'm very happy to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah, happy to have you here, and looking forward to catching up a little bit here on Talking with T-Bird. What have you been up to?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm really into cycling now, and found a group of people. We cycled across Florida over Memorial Weekend. We rode across Iowa last year.
Wow.
And we do a lot of that. And on top of all that, I'm very involved with Survivors still. I host a watch party, and it's all for charity, all the charity. And I'm very involved with Over the Edge with Omar. And we together, run an event, and I'm grateful for the people that come. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they come, we hang out, we go, and I'm still go to a couple watch parties, and I went to Ethan Zahn's, I went to Johnny Fairplay's, and went out to California for a couple, and it's just, it's a great life, Hey, look.
What you got?
My fire starter.
Oh.
There you go. There it is.
Okay. That's
my
original
fire starter.
Yes. Janet, are you still lifeguarding?
No, I retired from lifeguarding. However, I'm still involved with the beach patrols. Like, I just spoke with Brevard County here in Florida.
Yeah.
With women there, and how to deal with life on the beach in a man's world. And I swim with those. I'm with an ocean group. We swim like 4 times a week, and It's fun.
Yeah.
You and I have never met, but you and I have a lot of the same people in common. Ethan from Course Africa, Dr. B, Carl, I know you're good friends with him, Carolyn, Johnny Fairplay. We have a lot of people in common, yet we've never met.
Yeah, well, we have to change that. We absolutely.
T-Bird, you got to get down to some of these parties that Janet is having. I've seen the video. It gets wild.
So fun.
Hello, Black, Rob, you too.
You know what?
I'm not allowed to go to any parties.
The lady of podcasting will not let you go to any parties.
Yeah, I know it's for Janet. It's raising money for charity. You think that my wife is going to say like, oh, okay, it's for charity. Yeah, go to a party.
We're not the typical party. We have fun, but we're kind of safe.
Yeah.
But it's what has happened is Survivor's allowed me to. I probably have friends across all different seasons. I've been very lucky with that, and I'm blessed with the Survivor community. I mean, I embrace it all. Why not get to know everybody from different seasons? I went down to the CBS watch party, talked with Terry Deeds, and I saw Ben, and it was just great. And Dee, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So, Gina, let me ask you this. So, you originally, they wanted you for Edge of Extinction. And we talked to Aubrey Bracco a few weeks ago. How do you think you would have done with that cast had you have gotten processed in time to make that season? What an amazing group of people on that season.
Right. Well, I think I would have been in the Reem role. I'm very different from that. I love Reem, and I know what she was doing was, to be helpful. But that was something I was very cautious of as going in as an older female. I think I would have done okay. Yeah. I do. I think here's the thing. I don't know why, but I'm a kid at heart, and people can feel it. I mean, the parties that we have at my yard here, like my friends, we're doing relay races and, blindfolding people and looking for stuff and just for the fun of it,
Yeah. Janet, I know you keep up with the show closely. Would love to get your thoughts on, that it's always something that gets talked about on Survivor of how the moms have a harder time in the game in terms of like that they get judged by criteria that not necessarily every other player gets judged by. What did you think about the story of Maria this season?
Well, actually, I relate a lot to Maria, and because of Tommy and I.
Yes.
And I've spoken with Maria, after the season was finished, and to help her through some of the difficulties that you have to deal with the media afterwards. I think Maria and Charlie and whoever else she needs to bond with, but especially Maria and Charlie, I think they're going to be fine. I think time is going to take its course, and I think they're going to think about it. I feel for both of them, and I don't know that Maria actually put herself into the mom role. You kind of get put into it. Mm-hmm. I think Maria had a lot of respect from her fellow tribe mates. I really do, that we don't see, that we don't know really what went on behind the scenes. I think she had a lot of bond and a lot of respect. I believe that for anybody, if you show respect, you're going to get respect. Mm-hmm. Like Jeff Probst asked me, who is going to be your alliance on your tribes? I said, the young athletic guys. And they're like, whoa, really? And I'm like, yeah, I have no sexual tension and I want to go play and they want to play. So it's like just another person. And I've always felt that people will take what you give. So if you're giving an aura, which I don't think Maria did, I think Maria was very embracing, and I think her tribe really liked her a lot.
Yeah. Now, T-Bird, if I ask just one more question with Maria and Charlie. So that they worked together throughout the whole game, and ultimately, Charlie didn't necessarily engineer Maria getting out of the game, but he did have something to do with it. And similarly, Tommy has something to do with you going out of the game, even though it's Dean who plays the idol nullifier. Were you aware of all that at the time that you voted? And did you ever consider voting for anybody different?
When we all went to tribal for the final voting, we honestly gave everybody an open slate. And I do believe that in my mind, I gave an open slate. Tommy deserved it.
Yeah.
He flipped on me right where I should have flipped on him. We were supposed to go one more vote, and then it was all, open war. But it was not an easy thing for him to do.
Yeah.
I mean, after the show, there was a lot of conversating between him and I and him and my husband.
Yeah.
So I respect that. And I love him, and he just had a baby boy.
Oh, congratulations, Tommy.
Yeah.
4-month-old, I think.
Yeah.
So Janet, I think I read something that you had said when you were in your interview at CBS with Jeff Probst. I guess you were talking about how, you're a mature female, but you're a very strong swimmer, obviously. And you had told Probst at the interview that you believe there would be nobody could beat you swimming.
Well, let's bring in a 26-year-old 3-time Olympian. I mean, come on.
So do you think he was setting the stage for that? Obviously.
They had to be. Yes. Because, and the irony is, I remember saying that to him. And in my mind, I didn't finish the statement because when I left, I remember leaving saying I should have added this, but I didn't. Unless you had a competitive swimming background, you weren't going to beat me. And but I didn't add that part. Yeah. I did okay.
You did okay, Janet. And Janet, let me tell you this. You also we have some things in common. We were actually voted off the same place, 5th position. And also, what? Go ahead.
So was Rick Devens. Think about the 5th place.
Some really cool. What is Roger Bingham, Australia. But what I want to say is this also what you have in common, and you actually broke a record making the merge at your age of 59, was Kim Johnson, Mama Kim, from my season Africa that I believe was 57. Getting to the final
56 or 57,
to the final 2 with Ethan, and you broke that record being 59. So kudos to you.
Thanks. I want to break another record.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hey, baby. Me at 65, I'm better than I was at 30.
Oh, Janet, I was worried you were going to say longest podcast ever. Okay. All right. That's okay.
We can do that because we know I talk a lot. So my swim team gave me an abacus because I talk during all the directions and nobody can hear, and we get these whole conversations and never know what we're doing.
Janet, okay, so you open the door. Janet, we're the same age.
Are we?
We're the same age. Okay, forget that. We're off of that now. Now, so you mentioned about breaking another record at your age now. So let's talk about season 50. You want to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What do you think? Well, I think it's interesting that you did say this, and I love this from you. We're talking about the 26 days compared to the 39, and y'all were the last one to do the 39 days. Were they, Rob?
No, season 40.
Season 40.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were season 39, though, T-Bird.
Okay. But Janet has said, which I love this coming from Janet at her mature age, that the 26 days would actually hurt her because she's so strong that she could easily do the 39, but the 26 days might hurt her because of that. So I love that.
Yeah. Janet, 26 days is for babies, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely a different thought process.
Janet, what do you think a good theme for 50 would be? What would you like to see 50 be? And you out there, of course.
I have a couple.
All right. Let's go. All right.
Hold on, Rob. This
Get my list. Let me get the paper out. Okay.
Get it out.
All right. Here we go.
Blood versus water, because my daughter wants to play.
Okay, blood versus what a bold call it would be for season 50 to do blood versus water and bring in not all returnees, some returnees and their relatives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I also thought of having a tribe, not so much a theme, and I figure it out, a tribe where everybody's over the age of 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
Not
over, it
T-Bird,
is
the
season
right people
50,
we could
T-Bird. It
kick
is season
ass.
50. Okay.
Okay.
What are we calling it? Survivor 50-50?
Ooh,
Well,
something like that.
yeah, Rob, Janet makes a good point, because if you go back and look at everybody that's played from old season, new era, a lot of these great, fabulous players in the new school now are 40s
Yep.
to 60s, right? A lot of
Yeah.
fabulous characters.
T-Bird, you, Tina Wesson, me, Mama C. We can keep going. These are good players.
I love what you're saying. I love it. But honestly, I love it. But I can't really, I mean, I'd love to see that, but I just don't think that would be, what do you think, Rob? I love it. I love it. But I think, the people, even now you see over 55, maybe one person out there. So to go all of a sudden and have a whole,
Listen, what do you think? We call it Golden Survivor. It's the golden anniversary. Think about it.
Yeah.
The continuing in my themes.
Yes.
Second chances. But more than that, I think 5th place finishers.
All 5th place finishers.
All 5th place finishers.
It is. So really, it's drop the 0, keep the 5.
Yes.
All 5th placers.
Yep. Because I think 5th place finishers, look at all your 5th place finishers. There are people that most of them were in contention to win.
Yeah. Especially in the new era.
Yeah. Was Davey a 5th placer?
Was Davey 5th?
Davey was too. I love Davey.
Yeah, I do too.
Was Davey? Rob,
I want to say he was 6th. I think he was 6th place.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I was thinking Davey and I were at the same, but yeah.
I think Allison was 5th, and then Davey was 6th.
Okay.
Ricard, I believe, is 5th. Yeah. Okay. All right. So hold on. Blood versus water. All over 50.
Over 50.
Okay. Then all 5th placers.
Second chances.
Yes.
Heroes versus villains.
Wow,
okay.
Janet, you put a lot of thought into this.
Absolutely.
Well, you have. I love it.
Okay, let's just talk about the last 2 that you gave, because I really think Second Chances 2 is my favorite of the ideas, because I really think that you have all these people that just played in the new era that I think it's expected. You're going to see so many of them come back. But I think that, Janet, you are in that box of people that I think that there are more than a few people that played specifically in the second half of the 30s that probably would have gone back had it not been for a variety of reasons, like starting a new era of Survivor. And if they were doing regular all-star seasons, I think we would have seen you play again. So you have those people. And then you have people like T-Bird herself, people that should have gotten another chance from the old school era that have never gotten a chance to play. And I kind of feel like, I've said this a few times, that I would love to see Survivor 50 be a second chance season. And you still then have an option of maybe 2 years from now, let's now have all the legends of the people that have really, will have new legends because of the second chance season. And in the same way that you had a Survivor fans versus favorites, a couple seasons before, heroes versus villains, I think you need kind of like that middle step in between, first timers and then having people play with the 3-time, 4-time, 5-time players.
Well, I agree with you. And legends was my last suggestion, but I think that's a dicey term.
Yeah.
And I also feel pretty strongly that I think if you've already played once, you don't get a second time back on 50. I don't think
if you already played
once.
Yeah, like if you played once.
Yeah.
I don't think if you've been back 2 and 3 times.
Okay, if you've come back before, you should,
Yeah, if you've come back before.
Yeah.
I don't think, I think 50 should just be, that's where the second chances kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Well, Penner liked the idea of having like 50 to 100 hit the beach.
I know, like the Hunger Games. Actually, I used to
The
talk
Squid
about
Game,
that.
yeah.
Because so we were sitting around the campfire and trying to figure out our theme because we had these totems. We had no idea. And we didn't see Jeff for the first 3 days of our marooning. So we're trying to figure out Island of the Idols. So I said, listen, they're going to ship us over to an island. They're going to set us up just like the Hunger Games. They're going to put all the idols on that island. And then they're just going to blow a horn and you can get as many idols as you can find in a time period.
Yeah. Because you knew the season was called The Island of the Idols.
We knew that, but that's all we knew.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Your expression when that you got out of your boat and walking up to the Island of the Idols, seeing Boston Rob and the Queen Stays Queen was priceless.
Yeah, I was shocked.
How long, Janet, how long were you there with them? Because we only see a clip. How long do you think you were there with them?
I'm going to say an hour and a half to 2 hours. Boston Rob and I played a game of chance, which I beat him every time, and I wanted that to be known.
Okay, there it is.
And my lesson that I was to learn was to ask why and to observe. So.
And you were the only one that did not take the challenge.
Well, I felt like whatever lesson they were trying to teach me, I already kind of got, but maybe, that kind of thing. And I was like, this is going to be too dicey if this is that easy for me to get, something. And they didn't feed me. I was very angry about that.
Yeah. They gave Nora watermelon, right?
Yeah. She got fed. I was very angry.
Well,
I had the least amount of food of everybody and least rewards.
To be fair, Nora needed the nourishment because wasn't she your entertainment on the island? Nora TV?
Nora TV, baby. Tommy turned on Nora TV every night.
And then I think I saw y'all played a lot of charades.
Oh my God. I can still laugh from the charades that we played because I was doing the dances and forget it. It was just so funny.
I mean, so many things that people don't see when they, of course, watch the what's condensed into, well, I guess now, an hour.
Well, I don't even know if they have time for that on 26-day Survivor season.
Yeah, they don't have to do as much editing.
Well, I know. I mean, the players, there's just not as much downtime.
Yeah.
It's like, go.
Okay.
And sadly to say, there's so much gameplay that happens back at camp. We actually talked about it. We were like, they should almost do like Big Brother does, where you have a couple of days and you can see the camp life and really what happens.
Janet, you say a lot that's not showed. It seems like I read something that there were a lot of your reward challenges that were never showed, or because the controversy of the season was cut and edited. Can you give us like one example of that? I'd be curious to know.
I was actually really upset because I rocked that reward.
Yeah.
There were 3 rewards that I think were not shown. One was my forte. I was in the water throwing the basketballs back so they could shoot into the baskets and we could win points. And, there were a lot of rewards not shown because of the time that they needed to address the other issues.
Honestly, I would suspect, if I had to guess, I feel like that they probably couldn't fit it all in with the Rob and Sandra segments. Like, I feel like that, to do a reward challenge and Rob and Sandra and an immunity challenge and tribal council, like, and this is when the show was an hour. I think that was probably the biggest reason that they cut the reward challenges.
I think you could be correct, Rob. I mean, there was a lot of time given to each episode to Rob and Sandra. They had to, if they brought them in, what are you going to not show them? And there was a lot of time given to them. And we felt that way also when, watching it.
Yeah.
So
you got to have it every week.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was almost every episode was Rob and Sandra.
It was every.
Yeah, that's like the whole like middle part of the episode is somebody's got to go to the island of the idols.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're right.
So, Janet, so 2 things about that. So how did you feel about that with that time being taken away from, I guess, you 20 players over there? And then we'll answer that, and then I'll ask the second one I'm curious about.
Well, I was not thrilled about going, but I was excited to go because I didn't want to leave. But I was in a position with the tribe that was pretty good at that point. I always, you know, I was in a really good position, and we had all made an agreement that we would strip down on our way back to make sure we didn't have any idols.
Yes.
Okay.
We saw that.
So I kind of did it on the boat. Showed them I didn't have any idols.
No, you showed them. You actually showed us your idols.
I showed you the idols, and I showed other idols, and there were no idols to be seen.
You showed us your idols. So, Janet, and also I want to ask this. Were you, now listen if this makes sense, were you mad at Dan for taking away a little bit from your season? And I know deep, it's kind of it happens like it happens, but were you thinking, that shouldn't have happened and it took away from our season and I'm not happy about it?
What I will say is this, a lot of us feel that way. And I'm not going to say it was Dan. I'm going to say there was a couple of things, a couple of people involved. It ruined our fantasy adventure of Survivor. There was anger that our season, I'm not going to say ruined because it was a wonderful thing. I have wonderful friendships and I have a wonderful platform now that I continue with. So I'm not going to say that, but what I will say is it was sad that a lot of our dreams were touched in a negative way.
Yeah. It makes complete sense.
But with that, Mama J's going to say it.
Say it, Mama J.
With that, I have a wonderful set of relationships. I just was at Jamal's wedding. Karishma just had her second baby. Mama C and I, she's here at my house every year. Dr. Carl's coming down next week. Joe, and Brenda from Amazing Race, the godmother of the first season in the Amazing Race she was in.
Wow.
Her and I are really good friends now. We're going to a movie Friday night. You know, these are what I got from this wonderful adventure. Sitting here talking to you two. Yeah. You know, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And so, Janet, you just mentioned the Amazing Race. So I think I read too that you would love to do the Amazing Race with your crazy friend Elaine.
Well, with Elaine, but Brenda and I actually sent in applications.
Oh, okay.
Now, Brenda's been on the Amazing Race?
She was on the first season.
And so you sent in a new application of,
this year.
Hey, okay. And then she says, now I want to go with Janet.
Great. Well, she's got menopausal mamas. She's got all kinds of names. Granny something. I get lost in a paper bag. So this is the thing. She would do all the directions and I would do all of the challenges.
You know,
I would go into the jungle and I'm like, guys, I really am not looking for an idol. Come find me if I'm not back.
Janet, how old is Brenda?
Brenda just turned 65 also.
Okay.
So I think we were doing something about, and she rode across Florida with me. We did almost 300 miles on a bicycle in 900-degree weather. You know, she's doing fine. You know.
All right. So I wanted to ask you about breadfruit.
On
breadfruit. What is breadfruit? Do you know what it is, Rob?
I know that they eat it on Survivor. I really don't know.
Do you know why they eat it on Survivor? Because this girl found it.
You discovered it.
Yes, sir.
I need to know what it is. I have no idea what it is at all.
It looks like a coconut that's rotten almost. It's a round ball that kind of looks like a coconut, and there's some in the trees, and you can find some on the ground. And I found one, and I threw it in the fire like they said, just let it cook. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. And it came out, and we had breadfruit every day.
Is that why they call it breadfruit? Because you have to bake it?
I think so. I know it's a staple. It's very fibrous. It does make you go to the bathroom.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right, T-Bird?
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, what taste like?
It's very a baked potato.
Oh.
Like in that vein of taste. Now we would also throw in there salt water, and then somebody won spices, so we would throw some of the red pepper flakes in there. You know, you really don't care what it tastes like as long as it's going to fill your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Janet, I want to talk about your clothes in Survivor. I think I read that y'all buried your clothes to keep them warm, so you'd have them at night warm. And I've never heard of that before.
Okay. Well, I also got told I did a lot of things that were very beach things, which is true. When I was ostracized from my tribe, I dug a hole. I don't know if they showed that where I slept in a hole for 3 nights.
I remember you being off to yourself. I don't remember if it, they showed the hole. Yeah.
And that's what we would do on the beach in bad weather. So I took care of that for myself, so I was fine.
Is that what the lifeguard training says to do? Is bad weather, dig a hole?
That's what Mama the senior lifeguard tells the younger lifeguard to do, because they know that after sitting in a southeast wind or an ocean wind for 12 hours or 8 hours, that you're better off down there. And it's usually raining and windy and nobody's on the beach when you do it. Got it. The other thing I did is I would take the oars and I would prop the boat up, because that's what we would do on the beach, and you go under the boat and hide. They didn't like that. The producers did not like that.
They were worried for safety, or they can't film you while you're under a boat?
Safety. And I kept telling them, I've done this for years. It's not going to do anything. They were worried that we would die, and we would if it fell, but it wasn't going to fall.
You would die if it fell, but
it wasn't going to fall.
It wasn't going to fall.
And then I did things. I made clotheslines out of the oars and stuff like that. They were like, I was like, this is just what when you live on a beach 8 hours a day, they kind of, so the clothing is part of it. You know, we knew that it was going to rain, I loved when they tell you to get out and you're walking to Final Tribal and you have to walk through water to get there for quite a while. And I said, how deep is it? And they told me, it's only up to your calf. Well, it's only up to your calf if you're tall. It was up to my waist. I was so mad. So I'm soaked. So that was that. So the next time I'll take everything off and put it on top of my head and walked in. I didn't care as long as you wanted dry clothes at night. And
so resourceful. You were so resourceful for so many things. I can see why they kept you in. I mean,
it was fun.
And I want to mention this because I think this is super cool, that all the things you do for the charities, that you actually auctioned off all your clothes at Forgive Kids the World. So that's very, very cool.
I'll tell you what I did keep. I kept my my buffs. Okay. That's the only thing I kept. And I was very sad. And Tommy actually went into depression over this because I left my hat on the island and it got burned. So on Mother's Day, he sent me this.
Oh, Tommy, that's sweet.
Yeah. So he sent me a hat for Mother's Day.
So I want to talk to you about Sia.
Okay.
How thrilled were you about that?
It changed my life. To this day, I've sent messages to her, but I don't think they're going anywhere. I didn't get the opportunity to meet her. I actually was very jealous at the people that did get to meet her, because I was like, I want to. She changed my life.
How so?
Well, I was able to make my grandchildren a little bit more financially secure. My husband and I, going into retirement, put some of that money away, and that is our vacation fund. I'm going to Australia in March. We're going on a cruise, and I'm going to snorkel the Great Barrier Reef, and and swim with whale sharks. I cannot wait. So it's done a lot of that. It gave us a lot of security, and I paid off another one, student loans, and my daughter, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gave people a boost.
Weren't you the only one that season to get the C award?
No. Elaine got it, and Jamal.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
I believe that was the first season she gave it to multiple people.
It was. And it was the most amount she gave away, I think, or something like that.
And now Janet, Sia has said no more.
Mm-hmm.
Stores closed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm done.
Stores closed.
Yeah. So that's it now.
You know, I respect her in the regard that I believe she gave from her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure she's happy with what's going on with the current seasons.
Oh, you think that maybe she doesn't like the last couple seasons?
I think she liked. I want to correct that because she had all of the Sia winners at her house from the last couple seasons, so she likes them.
Maybe she didn't like Survivor 46.
Yeah, I think she had a few bumps in the road with the new seasons. I also think, there's people that would give their right arm to play. And there seems to be a lot of people that are going into the seasons with different motivations.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I can't speak for her, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Oh, and I would love her to know that Ty and we were roommates, like out at one of the charity events. Ty and I got really close, and he taught me a lot about planting.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're sharing a lot of ideas.
Another beautiful person.
He's awesome.
Yes, another beautiful
awesome.
person. Janet, did you get any tattoos after Survivor to represent Survivor like Tina Wesson did?
I know she did. We talked about this actually when we were here, and she was up in the top bunk, and we're laughing.
Okay. Did she show them to you? Did she show you her tattoos?
I think she
Personal.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a girls' night in the room.
Yeah.
I did not get any tattoos. And that was, my daughter has tattoos. I like tattoos out of respect to my husband. He says, go ahead and get a tattoo, but he doesn't really like them, and I like him to like me. So,
Yeah. If you got a tattoo from your season, what would it be?
It would be the Survivor logo. And I would somehow have probably my children's or my grandchildren's names written in there, because while I was out there, my Charlie, which is my granddaughter, called. Charlie and I would talk all the time. She was 3. She didn't know where the heck I went. Then she's calling my husband while I'm out in Fiji, and she's having breakdowns because she can't talk to grandma. I had postcards that I pre-wrote out and would mail them. Or they would mail them. So anyway, that's what I would do. I would have the Survivor logo, but I would somehow make it personal.
A loved one was getting letters from a survivor. How about that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I would give all these messages to her on the postcard. It was great.
Janet, I would love to know a little bit more about that. T-Bird said in the intro that you were applying since Borneo, since the very first season. Could you talk a little bit about your journey to get cast on Survivor?
Sure. I remember making the videos, and I fell in love from the first moment I saw Survivor. It was like, oh my God, because I'm very Tom Sawyerish. Put me on an island, and that's where I'm going to live. And Robinson Crusoe, I would go with them. And yeah, so I would almost be in pain watching Survivor, wishing I could be there. But I honestly, for the first part of my life, just thought it was a dream that would never come through. But we had a blast making the videos. One of my daughter was in the Coast Guard, and I had a big 12 by 12 fish pond in front of my house. And we did things where I was diving in the fish pond, saving the little characters. The one that they took, the video that I got accepted on, was hysterical. It was a rain day at the beach. I had one of my crew of guys they sit in sheds. Nobody's there. So I went in there, and we're all bored. And I said, let's make a Survivor video. So I had my whole beach crew, and we're doing like Baywatch slow motion. Oh, I'm coming. And I have these stud lifeguards standing there. Oh no, we can't do it. I'm like, I got it. Don't worry. So I didn't even think they were going to take it, but we laughed, and it just made the day go by. I didn't even know how to send it in. I had my EMT sitting there. Here, send this in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I believe that if you can almost project it and feel it and believe it, you know, I knew I'm a big believer in the right timing in life. And I think if I had gone when I was younger, I would not have had the success I had as an older woman, which is ironic.
You manifested it. You manifested it for all those years.
Yeah, I'm trying to manifest it again. We'll see.
Yeah. Jenna, but was there a specific reason that made you so you were wanted to be a participant on the show in the very beginning, and then ultimately you get on in season 39. Was there a reason why you had this renewed interest in wanting to go through the process?
Well, I had retired from my teaching job at that time, and I was just being a chief lifeguard, and I knew that I could, the timing in my life was right. My kids were off to college or married and, you know, that kind of thing. And I just, employment wise, I could do it. I had my lieutenants covering my job at the beach and all that stuff. And it just was right. The universe said, this is time.
Yep. Janet, I wanted to get one word to describe Probst.
One word to describe him?
Yes.
I would say insightful.
Insightful. Okay.
One thing that I was always impressed with, and it was with Jeff and even his producers, they really kind of they can read people very well, I think. And very quickly, I think they get a good read on a person's character. And I think that takes a lot of insight.
Yep. And Janet, I think I read too about the PTSD once you got off the show, that the counseling, they provided counseling for up to a year. There's everybody goes through PTSD for different reasons, but what was it for you that made it so difficult to adjust back?
For me, and I still have it, I believe, is fear of a cold. My greatest fear, that even if I were to go back on Survivor, is being cold. Mm-hmm. My body definitely changed, and, you know, food wise and things like that. But the PTSD, the worst part was, I think, the weather. The weather just kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
oh, yeah.
There have been changes since season 39. A lot of changes, really, and I think that there were changes that the production made after season 39 as a result of season 39, but also in talking with the past players, and then also with sort of the reimagination of the show for the new era. They are giving the survivors a lot more clothes to go play.
I saw that, and believe me, I sat there counting all the clothes because that was an issue. I mean, I had a bra, a tank top, and a hoodie. And if you tried to even rinse something out and it rained, you were screwed for at night, you know, and you didn't have anything that was warm. You had nothing. And, you know, when it rains and stuff like that, you guys know what it's like. But they are giving them more clothes. And at first I was like, look at how many clothes they have. Look at all the clothes. But then the second part of it was, you know what? Good. 2 pairs of underwear is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Janet, thank goodness you're so good. We're so wonderful at your building fires. Was there anybody else out there as good as you? Yes. Yes. Was there anybody else out there as good as you?
I would say Elaine. Elaine was good. I would win, but
okay, Rob. Got something for me?
I got it, T-Bird. Okay. All right. Here we go. T-Bird's got a clip for you, Janet. Okay, here we go.
What's up, everybody? It's Elaine here. Listen, I got a Janet story in a minute or less. So Janet prides herself on fire. She's really good at it. She took care of the fire when we was out on the island. She tended to it all the time. It was kind of my job too, but when we merged, I kind of just stepped away from it because that was Janet's thing. She loved it, so I just sat back. Well, it rained for a couple days, and everybody was sitting around. Janet had been working on the fire, trying to get the fire started for like 30, 45 minutes. And everybody just kept whispering to me, like, Elaine, go help. Go over there and see if she needs any help. And I didn't want to step on her toes or nothing, but I walked over and I was like, hey, Janet, do you need any help? help? And she's like, yeah. If you can, that'd be great. But she's like, I don't think we're going to be able to get it. Everything's too wet. Yo, I sat down and within 10 seconds we had flame. And she just looked at me and I was like, we good? And I just walked off. Even the camera guys were like, yo, how did you do that so fast?
Yeah.
So yes, Janet is great at making fire, but this old biscuit is too. And when she was struggling, I was there to help. Janet, I got you back, girl.
Wow.
I love that. I remember that.
What happened, Janet? Why is Elaine making the fire so easily?
I remember that. I have no idea. I think I warmed it up for her and dried everything out.
Yeah, that's possible. You know?
I remember that night. And it didn't stay lit very long, even when she did it.
Mm-hmm. Do you keep in touch with Elaine?
Yeah.
I it's not that I don't keep in touch with her. I could pick up the phone and call her at any time or text her, but she's running in different directions than I am. That's all. I usually see her at the charity event in December.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's still going to come or not, but yeah, there's nobody I'm not keeping in touch with. You know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Janet, I got to meet Elaine here in Atlanta. You know, we have these viewing parties at Ron Clark Academy. Amazing. And that's where I met Carolyn. Anyway, she is such a big personality.
Yes.
She's just like she was on the show. She is that warm and funny and beautiful. And she's just like we just saw her.
Yeah, she is.
Really,
that is. I would say everybody on the island, for the most part, was who they were.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question to ask you then, Janet. You know how through the years you'll hear people saying your edit wasn't accurate. I have my opinion on that. Rob probably does. How do you feel about the people you were out there with? Was their edit accurate?
It's hard for me to comment on. I came off with a very good edit. So I don't want to, it's some people did not have the edit that they left with that they wanted.
But was it accurate? Without naming any names, was it accurate though?
There were a lot of very correct points.
Okay.
Yeah, because Rob, even on my season, a couple of people didn't like their edit, but that is the way they were when we were out there. Rob, do you find that to be?
So, okay, I can speak to both different sides because I had two different experiences, and one time I really liked my edit, and then the second time I didn't like my edit, and I just felt like that it was inaccurate, at least from my perspective, but maybe it was accurate from the perspective of the other people.
It's really hard to say. And I get asked this question, I've been asked this question, and it's hard to, again, I don't want to answer for somebody else. I'm not going to say that somebody else, if they hated their edit, that it was accurate. Mm-hmm. I think that I will say this. I think they did a pretty good job at trying to capture the essence of people.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, Janet, there were a lot of firsts on your season. And a lot of last, but I think it was the first Canadian.
Yep.
On your season.
Yep.
The first Canadian on your season. Very first time a woman had speared a fish.
Yep. That was one of my best things.
First official ejection.
Yeah.
We'll just skim on past that. And as far as last, it was the last time that it was at Radford Studio Center, LA, of the revealing of the winner.
The final reunion. Yeah. I was there, Janet.
We were the last finale. I'm so sad that they don't have that anymore.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever go back to that, Rob, or it'll be pizza and champagne?
I got to be honest. I do think that they will have a live reunion. Like, there are some things about Survivor where I don't think they'll do more than 26 days. Right. I wonder if they'll ever change 3 tribes. But I do think that the live reunion show, I think for a Survivor 50, I think that they would be open to that.
I think the same thing. I find it, I'm looking at the calendar year now and my brain is spinning I think maybe 50 might even be a little bit longer of a season or something different. or a finale or something. Something's off.
I don't think they're about to change it forever, because I do think that the biggest reason with the Survivor reunion show not happening is that I think it's a financial issue. I think that budget, it's just, you got to fly everybody out. You got to put everybody up. You got hundreds of people that, crew that work there. And it's just like, it is a big expense to do the live reunion show the way that they did it. Now, I think that they could also probably scale it down and not have, 250 people in the building. And I think that you could do it on one of any number of talk show sets that exist, and just have it in a a reunion, but not have it be a spectacle. But I do think that in Survivor 50, they could you could see a return of it. Especially because they didn't get to do it for Survivor 40.
Yeah. I think that they might have something up their sleeve for 50.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, Janet, you mentioned The Amazing Race, and there's so many reality shows where you're seeing past survivors. Are there any others than Amazing Race that you would like to do? Or that
I would love
contacted for?
I would love to do Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, did you watch that?
I applied too.
Wow.
And it was so funny. I got nothing, but I applied, and on the application they said, "Can you swim? And how would you put your level of swimming?" So I put that in. Then it's, "Can you start fires?" And then I'm finally at the end, I said, "Watch Survivor 39, please." But I got nothing.
I was going to say, did that hurt you? But obviously not. It didn't hurt you since we saw Boston Rob. Hey, well, that doesn't mean it can't happen. Have you seen Traitors?
I have. I'm open to it all. The only show I think that would be horrible for me would be Big Brother. Because
Big Brother.
Two reasons. I'm so ADD. I'd be running circles in that house, and I'd be swinging from the chandeliers and trying to figure out when I was in finale week, or the week before, when they're testing you, then you're keeping in your hotel room. I'm doing flips from one bed to the other because I was so bored. I'm on commercials of TV. I'm like, what are you doing to me?
Janet, I feel the same. I can't imagine just that feeling of claustrophobia, if you will.
Yeah.
Being in that enclosed area.
Come on, it'd be fun.
Janet, originally Rob had sent his application in for Big Brother.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
He did.
Sorry, Janet.
He wanted to be on Big Brother.
He wound up in the right show.
Yeah, but I love Survivor too.
Yeah. I just watched the first season of Big Brother this time.
The first season, you watched Big Brother 1, Janet?
Well, yeah, I've watched it from 1, but I just watched this one that just came out.
Oh,
Last
okay.
night.
You just watched the premiere of Big Brother 26.
Yeah.
I've
seen all Big Brothers.
Yeah. Do you want to weigh in on the twist for Big Brother, Janet?
With the IA?
the AI.
AI? Whatever it is. Do I want to weigh in on that?
The IA is where you were riding your bikes, right?
Yes. I think it's going to be interesting. I knew it too, and I would have voted yes to having her come in to the house. Okay. Because I knew there was going to be a twist.
Janet, okay. That's interesting. I'm a psychology major, so I'm always thinking how people are what they're going to do, and I was thinking, for some reason, I can see a personality like you. You're open, you're warm, you love all people. I could see you saying yes. I would have said yes.
Yeah.
But the people that are maybe a little bit more, I don't know, not quite as warm would say no. Now that might not be accurate, but that was my perception last night watching.
I'm going to tell you what I think on that, because where I live here in my what I call my pod of very close friends, there's about 10 of us. Most of them are engineers, scientists, PhDs, all that kind of stuff. And then there's me. And they think in a certain way. And I think in a certain way. And we complement each other. And I think that's what I was thinking about when I was watching that show or that vote. the people that are very logical and are going to say, you know, this is just another person that's going to, you know, I'm going to have to battle, stay in the lines, they're going to vote no. The people that are going to blend the lines, they're going to vote yes.
Well, and this is what the one person said, I don't remember who it was, and this is the way I would have felt, and I think you as well, how badly you wanted to be on this show. This is how badly they want to be on the show. How can I deny them that? So that would be my thinking there. But you guys, this is what I think of with the AI, IA, all that, whatever it is. It's kind of like all the idols on Survivor. I like more of a pure game where they've got all this technical stuff and all this computers generated. I don't.
T-Bird, do you want to take a second and just tell Jeff Probst now, keep the AI out of Survivor, okay?
Yes.
No.
We don't need it.
We don't need the AI. We don't want it. We don't want it. Don't bring it in.
Pay attention. We're not joking.
I'll tell you this.
Janet, don't make Survivor 50 season theme be AI.
Okay.
And we know how insightful
we let AI pick the entire cast of Survivor 50. Go to hell.
An immunity idol with a chip in it.
Yeah.
You guys, let me ask you this. You know, we all do the psych stuff for Survivor. I would imagine the psych test for Big Brother to be in there for 3 months, isolated. I would think it would be way tougher for the psych test to make sure they get the right people on that. Do you think it would be different than Survivor? Because I really do. What do you think?
I don't. I think it's the same.
Really?
You know, yeah. I think that they're going to take, you know, the psychological tests that are looking for certain personality traits. They're going to be looking, they're just going to get that logged. And then if that's the type of person they want in the house, that's what they're going to pick from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like Sari being on last season? Did you like that twist there?
I thought it was.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, having a Survivor person on Big Brother is always okay, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting. I admired how she played with her son because she had the experience and she was trying to guide him. And you know how hard that is, you know, even if it's not your kid, you know what I mean?
You can relate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relate.
Yeah.
Janet, so you've been very vocal. You would like to return back to Survivor. I think that that's no secret. Have you thought at all about how Janet 2.0 would be different? Or do you feel like you don't need to change anything?
I know exactly how I would go into it. And I'm not sure I want to answer it in case I go back.
Okay.
But there would be some changes.
Okay.
You guys or the public didn't see, like, as you well know, a lot of the game playing behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But Janet, do you think you can change your person? Really? You can plan on that. You can plan on it. I get it. But can you really, after a day or two, won't you just fall back in exactly who you are?
Yeah, but I can play within that exactly who I am. You know, I'm going to be who I am. Yeah. But as a lot of the people didn't realize I was a chief lifeguard in charge of 200 mostly male, crazy people that I had to keep in line and run a very big organization. So with that being said, I did not want to go in as a boss or a mom or anything like. I was very conscious of that. Can I be those things? Absolutely, when necessary. We'll have to see what's necessary.
Yeah. Okay. Janet, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us today.
This was fun.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
So T-Bird, you're welcome to the house anytime.
T-Bird, you got to get down there.
I do.
The 24th of September is a barbecue.
I know it would be great. I know it would be so great. I've talked to Dr. B and Carolyn about coming down, and yet, you know, it's challenging. It's a little challenging with my schedule. I still work.
I know.
And then now Ron Clark has these when you guys are slowly moving up here. So like I said, Carolyn was here last time. Maybe Janet, maybe you and John will show up.
You
Maybe.
never know.
You never know.
I'm open to everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Except Big Brother.
Well, that would be like really mentally challenging.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, Janet, thank you so much for making some time to be with us. Where can people check out what you're doing?
Janet from Survivor 39 on Instagram has a ton of stuff and things that I'm doing. And again, we're hosting a watch party September 25th in Beachfly Brewery in Rockledge, Florida. And all of that goes to charity. All of the survivors. We have Dan coming from Squid Games, Brenda from Amazing Race, Anne from Naked and Afraid. And all of the money that we raise goes to our charities. And we have a good time.
Wow.
And then we have Over the Edge in December. That's all charity based.
Janet, would you do Naked and Afraid? Because one of your players out there said I think Janet just loves to take her clothes off.
Yeah, Janet got naked to show people she doesn't have an idol.
What I will say is this. I feel like Survivor, Naked and Afraid, 21 days. I know you don't have any clothes, but you don't have much in Survivor anyway. You could do something. Naked and Afraid could be challenging. Yeah,
Okay. Would you rather do Naked and Afraid or Big Brother?
Oh. Probably. Oh, God.
And let me also say, Janet, from what I hear, it's very cold in the Big Brother house.
Naked and Afraid.
Would John let you do Naked and Afraid? Would John approve it?
Well, here's the thing.
They blur
love my
everything,
husband.
T-Bird.
My husband has put up for 32 years with the antics of Janet Carbin.
Yeah.
He's kind of used to me. He is the soft place that I land and the arms that are always open.
Okay. That sounds like a yes. All right. They also have the Naked and Afraid XL, and they vote people out and stuff like that. They have
really?
Yeah. Okay. All right, producers, if you're listening. All right.
Amazing Race, put me on.
Okay. All right. Janet, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here with us, okay?
This was fun.
Okay.
Thank you, Janet.
All right, T-Bird, there you have it. There's Janet Carbin. T-Bird, you might see her out there on Survivor 50.
Yes, she would be fantastic.
Survivor 50, all over 50.
And
wish I could be there with you guys, but
okay.
The rules are the rules.
That's all right. So Rob, yeah, I mean, her personality, perfect. Yeah. Her physical fitness, she's still in
incredible.
Shape.
Yeah.
There's everything, every reason for her to be out there. And such a fan favorite from her season anyway. So I can't see why that should not happen. Of course, she's going to have to be careful because now everybody knows her game and knows how strong she is, her social game and physically, Yeah,
but I feel like that's not a big deal when it's like, I don't think that people were like, oh, I'm underestimating Janet, and it turned out she was super sneaky. Like, I think that people were like, okay, she's strong and she's loyal.
And she's loyal.
And she was as advertised. Like, I think that maybe right. If anybody who sort of like, oh, okay, well, she's an older person, so she's not going to be strong. Maybe they might have underestimated her. I think that with the thing you have to worry about with like people that like, oh, nobody expected that they were going to be a backstabber, and then it turned out that they were. That's the people that really struggle, I think, with, second time around, it might not work.
You're absolutely right. 100%. Because it's one of these things where somebody that's loyal, you want to keep them around as long as possible until you need to get them out because they're like they did for her with her season.
Yeah. So you go to Survivor 50, Janet's on your tribe. You're like, great. Fantastic. This is great. Her name does not even come up for a while.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
So we'll see. Yeah. Janet's so interesting.
I saw so many nice comments about this season of Talking with T-Bird. You've really just been on fire. I can't tell you enough.
Rob, thank you so much. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention, with Pinner this week? I think Pinner was our very first interview player from Cook Islands. Oh. We didn't have one until then. So
is that the last season, the last domino to fall?
No, I'm not sure, but I know that I think we didn't have Cook Islands before. I'd been working on a few people.
Mm-hmm.
People will send me requests, and I usually try to tell them I've been working on to get them for years, and just crickets. But I love people to send me any ideas or options that they want to hear from, and know that I am looking at that.
Yeah.
But
Well, now I think that there was probably like the next frontier was probably like the later season. So Cross 39 off the list because we had Janet. And then we had Aubrey, who then ends up being in a bunch of the seasons.
Yeah, a bunch of the seasons. So and the fact checkers, if there's anybody we've missed from the old school, what are we calling old school? 1 through 20?
Okay, and what do you want to call middle school, the 20 through 40?
If there's anybody we have not gotten old school 1 through 20, please message me at T-Bird Cooper on Instagram and let me know, because I got to get that corrected.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so old school 1 to 20, new school 21 to 30, 35. When do we go to new era? Then we go to
new era is after 40.
Oh, okay. Then 21 to 40, new school. We'll start working on people we don't have there, but I want to make sure we've covered the old school first. So,
okay, you got it.
And Rob, oh, never mind. That's good.
What is it?
Okay, I'll mention it. So I noticed that you posted on your Twitter that you're looking for a graphic designer.
Yes.
For RHAP.
Yes. We're looking for a graphic design intern.
Intern. Well, then it brought something to mind, because you and your wonderful sidekick, your left-hand, right-hand man, Sam, I'm always asking you can y'all give me some ideas for my promo videos? And you guys will kind of look at each other. But usually I love you guys so much. Usually I don't get much anything from y'all. So I'm thinking I need a intern.
Yeah.
You've given me some help, but I need an intern to help me come up with promo ideas. Because I don't mind doing about anything, but sometimes I get stuck. So I'm looking for an intern. What would I call them for promotional videos?
I would love. Okay, T-Bird needs. You heard it here first. Okay, here we cut this clip too. Teresa, T-Bird Cooper is looking for a summer intern to help out with Talking with T-Bird. If you have what it takes, send a reply to @TBirdCooper on Twitter or Instagram, and you could be T-Bird Cooper's summer intern. T-Bird will have regular contact with you and brighten your day. It'll be a summer you'll never forget.
Rob, did you just say you were going to cut that out?
No, I said cut that and put it on social media.
Oh, okay. But Rob, you got to be more specific. I'm not just looking for an intern to talk to. I'm looking for one that can help me come up with ideas for my promotion.
No, I think that's implied. I think that's a part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I think that I'm not saying hey, T-Bird Cooper needs a friend. I mean, you'll be friends with T-Bird Cooper.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sam, did you think that was implied? Okay. He said thumbs up. Okay. All right.
Okay. Good. Perfect.
All right. T-Bird, what's coming up for you?
Well, summer travel at the Delta. So I'm flying a lot more than normal.
The Delta.
And thank you too. And job security. Thank you, Rob. And also, I'm trying to keep up with getting some more of these amazing guests, which we've got some more lined up that I'm really, really looking forward to. So we're going to keep them coming. We're going to keep them coming.
Keep them coming. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. You can, of course, leave us your comments if you watch the video version, and make sure you're subscribed at robhasawebsite.com/tbirdfeed for everything Talking with T-Bird. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.